I would agree. We got a special guest, probably one of my favorite players. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I'm going to say it. Sydney Scales, defender for Boston College, making her debut on the show. Sydney, good morning. How are you doing?
Good. I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for making the time. So this is your 5th straight season for Boston College. You're headed to the NCAA semifinals. It's your 2nd season. You're a young defender. What does this mean to you? You've been there last year, but how is this year different for you?
I mean, it means the world. It's really unbelievable to go back-to-back Final Fours. Obviously, last year was amazing coming in as a freshman, not really knowing what to expect. And then coming out with the national championship was great. And then this year kind of, we knew it would be a hard year. We knew it would be harder. And then being able to get back to that Final Four is just, it feels amazing. We're not taking any days for granted. And I'm just in a great place and very lucky to be there.
Well, Sydney, you guys got a pretty stiff test from Loyola in Newton over the weekend. I was there to call that game and was so impressed watching you guys on both ends of the field. From a defensive perspective, Sydney, what was the mindset going into a game against one of the best offenses in America?
I think the mindset was just play BC defense. Obviously, they were great offensively, great coached, and we knew it was going to be a tall test, but we just needed to stick to our game plan. We knew that they were a little different from other teams. They're a very heavy cutting team, and that just gave us a chance to, work and play against something different, and we had to be really locked in to stop their cutting game, and I think we executed very well.
We all spent a lot of time in South Bend together during the ACC championship, and I remember you told me that you watch a lot of film on some of the tendencies. So if you're a young defender and they're watching Boston College and they're watching you because you're one of the best, what would you tell them to look for as you're marking up on an attacker?
I would say just look for, some of the basics. Obviously, I try to just look at the number. Don't go for any of the stick fakes. Keep your feet moving at all times. Try not to cross your feet over. And then just using your physicality to keep them outside the 8-meter are all keys to playing good 1v1 defense.
Well, Sydney, we've got some of your stats up on the screen right now. 44 ground balls is most among anyone in the ACC among field players, so not including goalies, and 25 caused turnovers, tops on your team as well. I'm curious, you and Dana might be able to nerd out about this a little, but as someone who never played lacrosse myself, what goes into being a ground ball gobbler? What makes you able to pick up so many of those ground balls?
I think it's a combination of things. Obviously, being in the right place at the right time has a little bit to do with it. Obviously, just having the will to want to go get it and beat your girl to the ball, and then just focus, keeping your stick low to the ground, running all the way through it, all components that are necessary to, pick up that ground ball.
I got to ask, because when I watch you, if I was a defender, I was a midi for a short period of time, and then they pushed me to the attack because I wasn't the best defender. But you're marking up against some of the best attackers in the country, and you're just a sophomore. Do you get nervous, and how do you handle that sort of pressure? Or do you feel pressure?
Obviously you feel a little bit of pressure, but I think some things that help is just knowing my teammates have my back all the time on the field, everywhere. Everyone's always communicating with me, ready to slide if I need it. And then I think the other thing is just preparation. I think we prepare so hard every week, and we focus on so many of the details, the big picture, that when you get out there on game day, it feels kind of like, okay, we've already done this at practice. I know what I'm doing. And I think that helps take a lot of the pressure off.
And Sydney, your unit, it's clear how close you guys are off the field with the way you play on the field, especially against a team like Loyola with all that cutting and all those weapons, and you guys have to work together as one. Why do you think that this group is so close? Because we've talked to Belle Smith on this show. We've obviously talked to Charlotte North a bunch, and it's clear how tight-knit this unit is. Why do you think the team is so close?
I think we just have so many different personalities that mesh so well together. Obviously, there's no two people are alike, and everyone kind of brings a different element to the team. Some people are more quiet, some are more outgoing, and I think having that balance of just all different types of people who ultimately are fighting for the same thing, a national championship, just bonds everyone together so tightly. And we all know that at the end of the day, everyone has each other's backs and everyone is there for each other. And it's like a family community, and it's great.
I know you came out in that North Carolina, the ACC championship game with a little bum ankle, but you're back healthy, and we're all very happy. I think the lacrosse world is happy to see you back on the field. But I've been injured before, so being on the sidelines, did you have any sort of different perspective for the few games that you were sort of that player coach?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, being on the sidelines was tough, but I think it gave me a new perspective. Just as a teammate, trying to be a leader from the sidelines and just trying to cheer my teammates on. Seeing, okay, this is a reality for some people. I'm lucky to be out there every day, and I can't take it for granted. But I think it really helped me just gain perspective and be able to hopefully become a more like versatile leader and be able to do things other than just produce on the field.
Oh, Sydney, now you're back in a big way. And you guys are playing awesome lacrosse, 20 goals against Loyola. You're back on championship weekend. Obviously, you guys know how to win when you get to the Final Four. So what does it take to win a championship once you get to this stage?
I think it just takes playing BC lacrosse. Obviously, it's a huge stage, and some people can have the tendency to try to do things that are not themselves and change the way they play. And I think it's just important for us to continue to play the way that we usually play and to play our best for 60 minutes every game. And I think if we do that, then we'll ultimately be successful in the end.
So playing Maryland, you haven't played Maryland this season. Any sort of pressure, or give us the scouting report? I know Acacia Walker has a lot of experience. She played for Maryland, but what are you guys thinking going into this game?
Yeah, obviously Maryland's a great team. It's going to be a great test for us. But I think regardless of who we were playing, it would be a great test. And we just want to have the mentality to go in there and give them our best game, play our best lacrosse for 60 minutes, and leave it all out on the field and leave nothing to chance.
I know we've only known the matchup for a little bit here, but I'm curious if Acacia has talked to you guys at all about playing her old team. Like, what do you think that's going to be like for the coach with those emotions of playing the place that she played?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Acacia went there, probably bring back some memories for her playing against Maryland, but I think she's just focused on the bigger picture of us winning the game, trying to play our best lacrosse, and kind of just focusing on the lacrosse aspect of it. But yeah, I think obviously it's very interesting her playing her alma mater, but I think at the end of the day, it's just going to come down to the lacrosse game on the field, regardless of who we're playing.
All right, we have to ask because Packer is not here. This is a question that gets asked of everyone who makes their debut on the show. So, what has been your hardest class at Boston College thus far?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Probably a class I just took and just finished with, thank God. Coding for business, not my favorite. We had to code, not a big coder, but got through it and glad to be done with it.
Wow, that sounds tough. How do you even code? Because I've heard about it, but never actually seen someone do it. So how do you code?
We use like a app on the computer called Jupyter Lab and code through there. I don't really know, different things. It's very hard.
What do you want to do after you graduate? That's like the worst question ever, but
I'm a business major, not very sure, but it's like a required class for the business school, so I had to take it.
Well, Sydney, I wanted to ask you this as well. I mean, you're from Mass. I know you have some family who went to BC. Was it always Boston College for you, or did you think about going anywhere else?
I think I've loved BC since I was a little kid. Obviously, with it being close to where I lived, being a great school, great sports. I think, I looked at other schools, was open to other options, but I think deep down I kind of knew, okay, if I could go here, if I could play lacrosse, that would kind of check all the boxes and that would be like a dream come true. So while I looked other places, I think deep down I always knew that BC was the best fit and really where I wanted to end up.
that's awesome. What's it like playing for Acacia? So I've known Acacia in her previous stints coaching, not quite at Boston College. She recruited me when she played at UMass, but she is such an infectious leader. And every time I have a coach's call with her, I'm like ready to suit up and go on the field. So what is that like playing with her and getting to interact, or being coached by her and getting to interact with her?
Yeah, I mean, I love having her as a coach. I think she has an energy that's just unmatched, and it makes everyone else feel her presence at all times and gives us all even more energy. And I think she's so passionate about what she does and she wants to win so badly, which just creates a great culture here at BC. It makes us all want to win even more. And I think she's just a great leader, and I don't think we'd be in the position we were today without her.
Yeah, she's awesome. I got a chance to go to your practice before the Loyola game, and the positivity is something like I need in my life. Like I wish she would be there to hype me up. And everything I do, like she does with your team. But now, as you head into championship weekend, Sydney, I mean, you guys obviously did this last year. What is that whole experience like? Like, do you have time to, like this year, will you be able to explore Baltimore and do some off the field stuff together, or is it strictly business this weekend?
Um, I mean, honestly, I'm not 100% sure, but I think there'll be some time for us to hang out, and Acacia is really about not taking things for granted and appreciating the moment. So I'm sure we'll be able to take a step back at some point and just at least appreciate where we are. Even if it's just for a quick couple minutes, just because this is once in a lifetime opportunity, and we're very lucky to be here. So I think hopefully we'll have some time to just step back and reflect and see what a great accomplishment this was, and hopefully be able to do that.
That's awesome, Sydney. I saw you guys maybe on social media last night. We're at someone's house playing spike ball, swimming, eating pizza. Is that part of the ramp up for the NCAA semifinals?
Yes, definitely. We were able to go to our teammate's house yesterday and just kind of relax and do some team bonding, which was great. And I think doing activities like that off the field really just helps us all be even more connected off the field and kind of just take a step back for lacrosse for a second and just appreciate each other and our friendships.
Who's the best spike ball player on the team?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'd say Holly Schleicher and Belle Smith are usually a team, and they're pretty good. They live on the beach, so they get a lot of practice in, and I would not want to go up against them.
I could see that. Yeah, they're both obviously amazing athletes, and I can imagine Belle Smith maybe talks a little smack when she's playing spike ball as well. Could see that.
Hmm.
All right. Well, Sydney Scales, thanks so much for joining us. You guys have your sights set on another national championship, and everyone here at the ACC is certainly pulling for you, especially in this first game as we try to establish some ACC supremacy over the Big Ten. Congrats on all the success, Sydney, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.